Hey, it's the latest episode of The Ugly Truth. Today, I'm wishing I had more enemies because I found a great gag gift that I would love to send to them. Also, I am putting Paula through the quiz ringer today. I am asking her some quarantine questions. Who would she want to be quarantined with, and would she rather do this or that? Quarantine edition. Hope you enjoy it. Also, some ugly and awkward moments of the week. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
Paula?
Free us! Free us!
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. Sorry, I've got the worst allergies ever.
Why do you clear your throat afterwards?
I wasn't going to, but I feel like a giant antihistamine right now, or histamine. I'm just covered in my nose, and my throat is just itchy beyond.
I'm kind of confused by our weather because it was like during the day, it's like really beautiful. It even gets kind of hot. But then like in the evening, it's freaking freezing.
That's spring.
Today it's windy and cloudy. So I'm like, is it going to rain or what the fuck is going on?
It's like the Bay Area where it's cold and icky, and then suddenly at 2 o'clock the sun comes out and you're like, oh, come out wherever you are.
I've got my sweatshirt on, I'm freezing, and then the sun's shining into the living room, and then by the afternoon, like my armpits are sweating, and I'm like, it's hot.
Spring is not my favorite season. Summer, hands down, my favorite. But
yes.
This is why I get frustrated, because your winter clothes are worn out. They're faded. They're icky. You don't want to even touch the sweater that you've been wearing for the last 6 months.
I can't remember the last time I wore a sweater.
And then this spring hits, and it's like, so you're wearing that crappy hoodie, and then at 2 o'clock you strip it off into some old rag that you had last summer because you haven't bought summer clothes yet. Or whatever, I am not one of those fancy ladies who has wardrobes that, are so good that you can just break out your summer wardrobe and just wear that.
Is that what they're called? Fancy ladies?
I don't know. I guess this Old Navy tank top will have to do because it's like ratty. I just hate it. I hate it. So I always feel ugly.
No, you know what's bad is when you go to take off your sweatshirt, but you have to check to make sure you actually have a shirt on underneath. Like yesterday, I was just going to take out, because I've been wearing the same shitty blue hooded sweatshirt. Actually, I think it's Stephanie's. No, that's bad. When you go to take a picture with one of your kids and then you have to look to see what you're wearing, because I'm just like, I think this is Stephanie's. I have to change because I made the mistake of wearing a t-shirt.
Yes,
that was hers like 15 years ago. And I took a picture and she's like, is that my Roxy shirt? And I'm just like, I don't know. And she's like, it is.
Maybe.
She's like, I wonder where that went. I'm like, you and your boobs could never fit this ever again.
It doesn't matter. It's her shirt. And let me tell you, this is a lifelong battle. I foolishly let Stephanie borrow clothes to go to Vegas with you. I haven't seen that shit since the night I gave it to her. She even has my suitcase that I lent her. And
wait a minute. You've had her at your house multiple times during this quarantine. You should have asked her to bring them.
Oh, no. She said she was going to. She's like, oh, I think it'd be great. I'm going to come by and then I'll bring all of your things. I'm like, okay, great. Nary a thing.
She doesn't even know where they are.
It. Oh, she does too. She wears it to work. I've seen her. I've seen photos, and I'm like, that is my blouse.
You know what? Clothes are like money. Don't loan anything that you don't plan on getting back.
Exactly. But when it's your sister, you can give her shit for the rest of your life. You're like, do you remember that time that you stole my blue eyeliner?
Yeah.
I never forgot.
But that damn Roxy shirt, she's just like, it was on Facebook. I posted a picture and I just knew. I have had that shirt for at least 10 years.
I thought it was the Guns N' Roses t-shirt.
No, it was the Roxy shirt. Like the lettering is so faded, like it's plucked off. Like it's not even solid on there. Like because it was like a print on there. Like the white is plucked off in different places. And
oh, that's funny.
So she commented,
really
she's
old.
like, is that my Roxy shirt? And I'm just like, God damn it. I knew you were going to say something. I'm like, how did you even remember? She's like, I used to love that shirt. I wondered where it went. And I'm just like, Stephanie, I'm like, you could not squeeze one tit in this shirt if you wanted to. She's like, that's not the point. And so
that isn't the point. You better never wear that shirt in public again. If she sees it, she'll rip it off of your body.
I know she will. And so now I have this blue hoodie that says Angel on it. And I know it's hers. It's like this really pretty light blue hoodie.
She's going to be pissed.
And I don't know how I ended up with it, though. Like, I have hoodies. I'm sure it's because I've worn them home from your house drunken. And they say, like, American River, polo or
polo.
that or Sac State football or something like that.
Oh, yeah. You have our Sac State football sweatshirt?
I'm pretty sure I have one. I don't know. But then again, I'm just like, God, I'm like, Jamie better never see me this. She'll just probably want to slap me because she's like, why are you wearing my husband's sweatshirt?
No, I remember sending you home in it. I literally remember pouring you into a car with that thing on.
I know.
God only knows what you did.
But I went to go take it off yesterday, and then I'm just like, wait a minute, before I do this, I better make sure I have a shirt on because sometimes I'll just put it on, and I don't want to take this off and be like, I'm hot, and then be bareless, chestless, and Ryan standing there and be like, Mom! Not like it would be the first time, but
most people, I mean, I would imagine most women who are, actually quarantining and not becoming, not being assholes and going out there like there's nothing going on, aren't wearing bras.
Oh, God. I put one on yesterday, and my boobs and body are like, what is this foreign object?
How dare you?
They tried to wiggle out. They like they were falling out the bottom. They're just like, free us! Free us!
Well, I have a couple of sweatshirts that are like crop sweatshirts. So if I don't wear a bra, it's hysterical because, my boobs are huge. Now, they don't sag, but there's a natural droop to them.
Sure.
But these cropped sweatshirts really require you to have those girls locked and loaded because if you don't, you're going to look really weird. Mm-hmm. So I put one on and I've been running downstairs really early to check on the dog still. And so I had it on. I'm like, this is literally useless. It's like I'm covering my shoulders and my arms and that's it because everything else is not covered because my boobs are so big. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I put on a bra the other day and I was like, all right, okay. All right, I can still do it. I got in the car and drove the other day and I felt so weird. I was like, God, am I in a flying saucer? This is so weird because it's been so long since I've driven anywhere.
Actually, I don't even know if I've driven recently. Yeah, when I get in the car, I feel like a teenager, like I'm 16 again. And I'm just like, all right. I'm like, well, here we go. I put the car in neutral and I'm like, what happened? I'm like, oh, I have to put it in drive.
I know, it's so weird. The other thing is, we're not really interacting with people that we hate or, anything. Like, you run into people and you're like, God, I hate that bitch or whatever, from your past or just in general. Because everyone's so cranky anyway. It's like you hate everyone.
Yeah, but when I go out at the store, people are so nice. Like, we're all just hi, how are you?
Everyone's so grateful to see another human being.
It's like E.T. We pointed our fingers. Ouch. We just want to touch.
It's true.
I mean, not really touch fingers, but like our fingers go. We're like, turn on your highlights.
It's true. Well, and I mean, isn't it interesting? We've always known this about ourselves, but isn't it funny how humans truly crave socialization? They crave touch. They need emotional support from just people. You just need interact. We're such social creatures.
I know. I almost want to hug a stranger. Almost.
Don't do it.
Want to hug a stranger, but I just want to be like.
I would do it.
You do that. You do that quarantined or not, JB.
I know.
If you see a young man carrying, a bucket of, floor cleaner, you're going to be like, can I just hug you?
Let me just give you $20 and a hug, please.
He'd be like, please don't.
Let me feel better about myself.
I'm just going to use this for smack, lady. I just,
It's like, do you know how much booze I can buy with this? Very little. So I saw an ad because I'm getting so many weird ads now. I got an ad for this website called prankcandles.com. Prank candles. So I go to it and I'm like, what is this? And it's like apple and sage and, wintergreen and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, these don't seem like a prank. They burn beautifully for an hour. And then after an hour, it starts smelling like shit. And I'm like, this is ingenious.
Okay. I instantly just thought of someone I want to get that for.
Exactly. And so I'm like,
did you think of someone?
Well, yeah.
Who?
I'm not going to say.
I thought of Mother.
She would never burn a candle in her house.
I know. That's the problem, though. We'd have to light it when we got there.
Why would you do that to our own mother?
Because she's got the nose of a bloodhound, and it would just, like, even if it was, burned it, like, we blew it out and took it out of the house, she would never not think her house smelled like crap. The mental torment.
I just desperately am thinking of people that I could prank with it. Do I know anyone that I could actively now send it to and they would think it's funny, or at least go, oh my God?
We should post that on our page and then see if like you can send it anonymously.
You can send anything anonymously on this website. Because not only can you send a prank candle, you can send an empty box that has on the front S&M or, caution, box of porn. You can do all kinds of prank stuff that you can send. And I was like, this is fabulous. So if you go to prankcandles.com and all of their affiliated websites, you'll see all the options in sending someone a prank gift. Now, I realize we're past April Fools, but no one did it anyway because, we're all at home. But I thought, God, I wish I knew someone that I could send this to right now. It'd be so great.
Well, I had an idea the other day of sending dildos with messages written on the side.
Oh.
Like fuck you.
Oh.
Or eat a dick. Or,
oh God, I wish I hated someone enough to spend money.
Or what if you didn't even hate them? You just wanted to embarrass, like you could send it to their office and they open it and take it out and they're just like, or if they had like an assistant and they opened it, they're like, Mr. Smith, this came for you today.
Well,
and they take it out and it's a dildo that says fuck you. And you're just like, oh my God.
There are extra large dildos that you can send through this site.
That like suction cup to the desk and they're like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of cool stuff. Like you need to look it up.
Okay. What's it called?
Prankcandles.com. Don't do it now.
No, I'm not going to do it now. I want it out there so everyone can look.
I know this is right up your alley.
Totally. I can't wait to look.
I know. And it's like $20. It's not even like ridiculous. So, get those stimulus checks out and start, harassing your enemies via
stimulate yourself with pranks. That sounds amazing.
I know.
I wish I knew somebody I hated. Well, I mean,
God, there are, but not enough to.
But it would be awkward to send those things to your parents.
Well, yeah, but I'm just trying to think. There are definitely people I would send.
If we sent it anonymously, Mom would know.
She would know. She's like, this has got Paula written all over it.
She'd be like, Paula, can you send me a candle, a sage candle? I'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Mom.
She's like, Paula Marie.
It smelled like restroom after a while.
Absolutely.
Oh my God! You know who loves candles is Stephanie.
Oh my God! If she doesn't listen to this episode, we have to send her one. Oh
I
my
don't think she will because she's probably listened to the last few that she's been on. But I don't think she will.
Let's do it. All right, maybe we'll send her one. Oh my God, I love it. There's like 3 or 4 options. There's not a ton of options, so you can go like apple, cinnamon, wintergreen, pine or whatever.
We'll say thank you so much for joining us. We had so much fun, and then
very formal. She'll be like. It'll be so formal, and she'll be like, "What the fuck is this? Is this a trick candle? What's going on?"
No, she'll be like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
No, not if
she
we do
will.
it like that.
She will not think a thing.
We're gonna have to think. We have to ugg it up because thank you so much for joining us. That will never fly with her. We'll come up with something. For
yes.
Sure.
Okay. We're gonna do that.
All right. Okay. So now it's time for me to. You are one of the people I think has really not done well under quarantine.
I would agree.
You hate it. You've akined it to jail. You hate it so much.
Well, you see my profile picture. I'm wearing a mask behind bars.
With all of that being said, there have been a lot of social media ways of coping and trying to say your life could be more or worse, better or worse, depending on your given situation. You could be Ellen or you could be us. Trapped in a 1,500 square foot home with 3 other people that you barely tolerate. It's like it's all relative. But I thought, those new things where it's like choose your quarantine house, where there's like lists of celebrities and you have to pick the one that you would rather be quarantined with.
Yeah.
Well, I created one tailored for you.
Oh, okay.
So there are 4.
Wait.
You have 4 homes to choose from.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the celebrities in each home. And then you have to pick which home you would live in.
Okay.
For the quarantine. Okay?
All right.
Here's house 1. And I will go back and repeat if you need a reminder as we go.
Okay.
So choose your quarantine house, Paula.
All right, I'm ready.
House 1. Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, okay.
Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Bret Michaels. And Joanna Gaines.
Oh.
Okay. That's house 1.
God.
House 2. Goldie Hawn,
Okay.
Will Ferrell,
Okay.
Leo DiCaprio,
Uh-huh.
and Anne Hathaway.
Oh, God.
Okay. Here's house 3. Britney Spears,
Awesome.
Sebastian Maniscalco, Michael B. Jordan,
Oh, my God.
and Kate Gosselin.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Oh.
And finally, house 4, Selena.
Yay! Bitty, bitty, bum, bum.
Yes, Selena Quintanilla.
We'd be doing the washing machine all the time.
Let's do the washing machine. Katy Perry. Usher.
Ooh. Oh, wait, herpeless Usher?
Sure.
Okay.
And Nicolas Cage. Those are your houses. Do you need a refresher?
No,
Okay.
I would go with house 2.
With Leo.
Yes, of course.
So
because
Goldie Hawn, Will Ferrell, Leo DiCaprio, and Anne Hathaway.
I think it's because I think that Anne Hathaway would probably pester Goldie Hawn enough to try and like, I want to pick your brain. I want to know you.
Oh my
and
God.
that I could be so busy like chasing down Leonardo DiCaprio or like hiding outside his room or just chumming it up with Will Ferrell
Yeah.
that I could just ignore her.
Completely.
And the fact that her idiosyncrasies and weirdness would just be so overshadowed by the fact that I could just stare at Leonardo DiCaprio all day long.
And just get high with him all day.
She would just be toned out. She would just be like a piece of furniture.
So she's the least offensive of the women that I put in these homes that you could deal with.
Yeah, it's to be honest, I can't decide which would be worse, Joanna Gaines or Kate Gosselin.
Kate Gosselin, I know.
God.
Those are my favorite. Paula, literally up all night thinking about this because I was like, this is going to be so fun.
I wish you should have told me because I would have done one for you.
Well, you can do one for me on Sunday. Do one for me on Wednesday's show.
Next one.
So you come up with yours because now the next part of the game is a would you rather.
Okay.
So this one is, would you rather do something terrible or stay in quarantine? And I will give you the time periods for how long each is the values of the quarantine. Like how long would you have to spend in quarantine or do this thing?
Okay.
So I want to know how bad you want out of the stay at home.
It's not like licking a toilet seat or anything.
No.
is it? Okay.
You'll see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have like 7 or 8. So I'll just read them. We'll see. First one, would you rather attend a 5-hour funeral at our mom's church or quarantine for an extra weekend?
Quarantine for an extra weekend.
So it's still not that bad yet. Okay. Go to Oklahoma for 10 days
Oh, good God.
or quarantine for an extra month.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. That's like Solomon's baby.
I know.
Oh, God.
I knew it would be hard. I knew this one would be hard for
This
you.
is really difficult. God, this is difficult. Okay, just Oklahoma, though. I don't have to like be with anyone in particular.
I think you know what I mean.
God.
It's supposed to be difficult, Paula. It's got
Und-
you can't just show up at Oklahoma International and just stand around
so
for
it would
10
have to
days.
be under my normal circumstances.
Under your normal circumstances of Oklahoma or quarantine for an extra month.
I think I'd rather quarantine for an extra month.
Woo, wow. Okay.
You
right.
just don't know what it's like there.
I don't need to. I will never know. That's what's beautiful. Okay. Would you rather run a toddler daycare for 10 children for 2 weeks or quarantine for an extra 2 weeks?
I actually think I would run the daycare.
All right.
I love kids, and I
know you do. And
think
that's
it would be exciting.
toddlers are not easy.
No,
And
they're not, but
But
so
that's-
funny and they're cute.
they can be for sure. Okay. I should have said unpotty trained. I should have. Oh, damn.
Oh.
Well. They're not-
Even if they weren't potty trained, it would be funny.
Okay, here's the next one. Would you rather plan your ultimate nightmare wedding for 3 months or quarantine for 3 months?
Wait, plan my ultimate nightmare wedding for how long?
3 months. 3 months wedding planning, and you're not the bride. So you are the wedding planner for everything you hate about weddings.
Oh, so it would be like, my dream wedding for someone.
Your nightmare wedding. Everything you hate about weddings. You have to do it for 3 months for a bride,
and venues and cakes and
and you got to do the dress, and you've got to do the Pinterest walls, and you've got to do all the things that you hate about weddings.
Fucking chalkboards and burlap and
everything.
Shit. Oh God.
Or quarantine for 3 months.
Oh God. I think I'd quarantine for 3 months
instead of planning the wedding.
I couldn't do it.
I was going to add for a 22-year-old bride.
Oh God. Definitely not.
But I thought it was bad enough as it was that you would have to
I'd
plan
rather
a wedding.
just hide for 3 months. There's no way. I couldn't do it. I mean,
you would lose it.
Olivia could very well be that 22-year-old bride. I'm probably going to have to do it at some point.
It's true.
She'll just be sit there coming out with this giant ball gown,
yes,
dress and be like, Mom, what do you think? And I'm like, well, you look like Cinderella.
No kidding. Okay, 3 more. Work with a personal trainer for 30 days straight, or quarantine for 30 days.
Quarantine for 30 days.
Oh, I thought for sure you'd take the trainer. Really?
Do you know? Okay, I worked with a trainer for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They are not easy on you.
They are not.
It's
they are very
really hard. They push you, and it's hard. And like right out the gate, she wanted me to do the elliptical for 45 minutes.
You're like, what?
I'm like, what? You don't even get to ease me in. I'm like, this thing is awkward. And it's like, I couldn't even get I just felt like my legs were like noodles, or I had like those titanium like legs things.
Yes.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay, 2 more and then we'll move on. Would you rather clean up dog poo for 2 weeks, 8 hours a day, or quarantine for an extra 2 weeks?
Quarantine for an extra 2 weeks.
You're not going to clean up dog poop. Wow.
You know what? That's where I draw the line in the sand. And that was probably the big fight that started the other night.
Yes.
That ended with, I will not be disrespected in my own home.
Who said it?
You know who said it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. And finally, would you rather have morning sickness for 2 straight months or quarantine for 2 straight months?
Oh, I would rather quarantine for 2 straight months. I had morning sickness for 4 straight months. And,
oh, well, yeah.
And I lost 15 pounds. And I can tell you, that is a kind of hell that I don't think I'd wish upon many.
It's brutal, right?
Throwing up 5 to 7 times a day for 4 months.
Oh, God.
You can't do anything.
No.
So.
Yes. Well, anyway, with all of that being said, you would rather quarantine than have morning sickness for 2 months.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So those are my would you rathers. I am genuinely surprised that you chose quarantine over all but one. I thought, okay, well, then you're not that sick of it yet. You still have some wiggle room as far as when you can't take it anymore.
Well, first
of all, I don't think you'll ever be in quarantine long enough to willingly go to Oklahoma again. But other than that one, I think, you still have a little time left.
Well, I mean, the thing is I don't mind like being home with the kids, and because I mean we get silly like. So last night we were talking about like how us girls, when we were younger, we would pretend to have like disabilities for whatever reason.
Yeah, we did.
And I don't know why we did that, but
I don't either.
I told the kids, and I don't remember if I told you guys this, but when I was younger, I would sit in the bathroom sink and look at myself in the mirror, and I would pretend to see what it was like if I had no lips. So I would do like the Fire Marshal Bill, like.
Oh, that's Stephanie's favorite. That's her best impression.
I didn't do the impression, but you know how he tucked his lips under and his teeth were just there. So I would like tuck my lips underneath my teeth, and I'd be like, "You don't understand what it's like to not have lips.
I've seen you do that.
You can't drink through a straw. You can't have a first kiss. Sometimes people don't understand what you're saying. Like,
why do we do that? It's so weird. I did the no neck thing when I was younger, but then when we were older and we would sit in the mirror, and why did we act like we were in a documentary about disabilities? Like we would sit there and I'd be like, so I lost my sight when I was 3. and this is how I function in society.
Or it's just the side of my mouth doesn't work, so this is how I talk. Anyway, so I was showing
I have
Olivia.
no tongue. I lost my tongue at birth.
So I was showing Olivia. She could hardly breathe. She was laughing so hard. She's like, "Why did you do that?" I'm like, "Olivia, I
We
don't
all
know."
did it.
I'm like, "We were broken children."
We
I
were
don't
broken
know.
children.
So of course, all night she was walking around and she was pretending she had no lips. And then she came in and she was still talking. And I'm like, "Wait a minute." I'm like, "You have lips all of a sudden." I'm like, "Are you mocking me?" And she's like, "No." And she tried to tuck them back in. I'm like, and I had my lips on. Get the fuck out of my ass. So,
That's funny. So the only other thing that I'm struggling with for the quarantine is the increase because no one's going out to eat anymore. So no one's photographing their delicious dishes. They're
do you like those pictures?
Sometimes it depends on where they're going. Like
Usually I look at this and I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you're eating.
I
Just
know,
eat
but it depends on the place. Like, for example, I had a friend who went to the French Laundry, and it was really fun to see those dishes because it's so the perfection is so amazing. And I'm a foodie, and I love seeing it, and especially if they're like in New York or Miami or something, and I'm like, oh, so that's what it looks like. I don't like pour over food porn, but I do like well plated, delicious looking gourmet food. I think it's neat. Yeah. Anyway, so no one's doing that anymore. And so now people are taking pictures of the food they're preparing for themselves at home.
Yeah, and those pictures are gross.
Oh, God, they're so ugly, Paula.
Like sometimes it just looks like a plate of diarrhea over mashed potatoes.
It looks like gruel. I'm like, why would you post that?
Tonight's dinner, yum. And I'm just like, for who? Your dog?
I have seen more disgusting plates and people who are so nice. And it's all social media. It's not just one or the other. Stranger will be like, oh, good for you. Yummy. When are you coming? I can't wait for this quarantine to end so I can come over and have some of that slop.
Hey,
There's no way that anybody wants to eat that nonsense. It is absolutely unappetizing. It's so gross.
Hey, we were taught if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all.
I don't. I say nothing. You get no likes. You get nothing from me.
Nope. I just scroll on by. So
I'm just like,
oh my God. Have you ever seen Gordon Ramsay's Twitter feed where people post pictures of what they made for dinner and he comments on it?
Yes.
That is so funny.
What I wish I had that persona where people loved how hateful and judgy I was so that they would tweet me shit and I'd be like, this is absolutely repulsive. Who would eat this? Who would put this in their mouth? Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Exactly.
Anything.
He's like, this is like something a dog ate and then shit it out.
And now it's on a plate.
Right.
It's so gross. Yeah, that'd be so great to be that judgy and people would think it's funny. The problem, I think, is that I'm a little too mean. So I don't know if it would work. But
I don't know. I should write a book on comebacks, like in different scenarios. Stephanie and I could go in on that.
Oh, absolutely. You two would absolutely do it.
Like
and then I'll just
bullying,
be the muscle.
how to fight back verbally.
How to be a bully in today's soft culture.
Bullying, the verbal fight.
Yes, how to verbally protect yourself in a world of bullies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Sometimes I see people write shit online that they're being a bully, and I'm just like, you know what? No one spanked you enough as a child. You need to be beaten like once, and then you would stop with this shit.
The thing is like I've seen bullying stories, and they're just like, and so heard about his story. And so the police, paraded him around town in a cop car and, did this. And
so he got a free ride in a cop car.
He got to wear a special badge and they took him to school and 5 police officers walked him to his class to show their support. I'm like, oh, good. So now he looked like an even bigger pussy when he went to class,
right.
And I'm just like, and I'm like, and then they were just saying he was so embarrassed. And I'm just like, how is this less embarrassing?
So
I'm just like, how about, one of the karate studios or a Muay Thai studio or a jiu-jitsu studio come in and be like, here, we'll give you 5 free classes on how to kick some ass.
Thank you. I was thinking about that. I don't know. I don't really think I can articulate it properly, but I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I know, first of all, I am not a big fan of spanking children. That's not what I'm talking about. But I am also a big fan of kids learning lessons and learning how to defend themselves, whether verbally or physically, if they need to. Not everybody in the world gets bullied, but if if they do, they shouldn't be afraid to get in trouble if they defend themselves, right? And then these people turn into adults. So we will have a generation of kids who have never had any kind of corporal punishment, which is totally cool. I'm not advocating for spanks as the go-to for punishment at all, actually. But
Right.
there's going to be a generation of people where being physical or being mean or whatever is not built into their, life lessons. It's just not. And calling them soft isn't even it. It's just, they're just not going to be accustomed to it. But then there's going to be people from our family. Someone's going to say something to our family and they're going to get bitch slapped and they're going to be like, oh, how dare you? And I'd be like, fuck you, you pussy. There's going to be a big gap between those people who were taught how to defend themselves and have some confidence. And then there's going to be the ones that were raised in genderless households who wear linen and have no concept.
Who wear beige and decided that they wanted to be a boy. And
have no concept of how to function in a society where nobody gets a favor, nothing's handed to you, and life is hard and very unfair. And it'll be interesting to see that eventually come to fruition when all of these people turn 30. Because now they're just little.
I think, though, that people like us are such the minority, like by a lot.
You think?
Because,
I don't
well,
think
I mean,
so.
all these people, these millennials that are having children, they are raising them to be so nonviolent and peaceful and, basically potatoes. And that I don't think that violence or bullying or anything will really be an issue because nobody does it.
You know what? First of all, human biology begs to differ. There will always be alphas and betas in schools. There will always be people who will use their strength to be better or, to one-up people. That never goes away. It will always be there. You can raise children to be nonviolent and to be accepting and all of that stuff. And by the way, you can be nonviolent and still not cower or, because there will always, it's just like, it's the same theory like in Hollywood where they're like, casting couch is out of date. Nobody should do that. And, we're stopping. And all these really strong women are saying, fuck you, I'm not getting on the couch. And it's like, fine, don't blow the guy's dick to get the part. Unfortunately, there will always be a woman willing to do it.
Yeah.
You will never not get that exchange. It will never be eradicated because sex and money are the same in Hollywood to some people. And so it's like, there will be women who have their dignity and there will be women who will be like, well, I'd like to be in that movie, so pull them out. I will do it. Same with kids. There will always be children who are peace loving, much like your children. And then and by the way, my children, although a couple of them are violent in the pool, which is fabulous. But they know how to do it if they had to. That's my point. And that does come out in the way they deal in the world.
Yes, my children are, I would agree. Their tendency is not to have a serpent tongue or to turn to violence. But I have showed them how it can be done.
Yeah.
And I've given them the right to do those things.
That's good.
When necessary. So it's not that they're not educated. And I think that's what's important.
Oh, God, no.
Is that, I'm sure there are children out there that have been taught, violence is not the answer. And,
Ever.
Turn the other cheek and blah, blah,
Right.
blah. And those are the kids that are going to get their ass kicked. But my children, if presented with the issue, they're going to be like, no, I'm not going to put up with that,
Right. And see, that's my point. It's like, don't have your children or these people shouldn't be armed at all. They either have to know how to verbally defend themselves or physically if necessary. And it's not a bad thing because we're people, we're tribal, we're humans. We just talked about how we all are very social creatures. And sometimes those are negative interactions. I mean, it happens, man. And it's never going to be bred out of our society. It will always be that way. We need strong people who can fight.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's do some ugly and awkward moments of the week.
Like I told you, I've been introducing Olivia to a lot of like the old school movies.
Yes.
So I showed her Funny Girl the other night, and
I love that movie.
I know I love that movie. She loves all the movies that I show her.
That's because she's an Ugg.
She is, and so like last night we watched the First Wives Club, which I know
Oh,
I love that movie. I don't know
funny.
that she totally understood. I mean, she did.
No.
She actually understands a lot more things than I realized. I mean,
well, she's not a baby anymore. I mean, she is 10.
But when we were watching Funny Girl, I was like, I had my knees tucked under my sweatshirt when I was sitting on the couch, and I had my face in my sweatshirt. And we were watching the part when she was in her like leopard print hat and jacket, and she walks past the mirror.
Yeah.
And then I popped my face out of my sweatshirt, and I looked at Olivia, and she looked at me, and I'm like, hello, gorgeous. And she's just looking at me like, what? And then all of a sudden you hear Barbara Streisand, and she's like, hello, gorgeous.
Hello, gorgeous.
And then Olivia's like, how many times have you seen this, Minnie? Yeah, I know. And
love that
she's like,
movie.
how many times have you seen this movie? I'm like, I don't even know.
A million.
I don't even know.
So good. I love it so
Nikki
much.
Onstein. And then at the end, when they were like saying goodbye, and I'm like, you know what's interesting about this movie, Olivia? And she's like, what? I'm like, Nikki Arnstein in real life was gay. And she's like, no! She's like, how could he do all these parts then? I'm like, he was an actor.
He's an actor.
I'm like, what? I'm like, you think all actors that do kissing scenes, you know, they're in love with their co-actor? I'm like, they're all actors, you know?
Well, my awkward moment was, as I said, I went to the store the other day because I waited till the last minute to purchase cleaning items, and I was hoping that the wave of panic buying would be over and I could just go and get what I needed. I was able to get pretty much everything. They still don't have Clorox wipes. I don't buy toilet paper there, so it was fine. But I had a lot of items, and I'd forgotten that I had made Daryl put all of the donations in my trunk of my car. So I had to put them in my back seat. I had to put all my goods in the back seat of my car. I pull in and I open up the back, like I lift the front seat over so I can get into the back seat. Well, it's been so long. I have no perspective on where everything is. So I go lean in, and I mean, Paula, I stabbed the back of my arm so bad with the latch of the seat. I literally had to back out, and I'm standing there holding the back of my arm, you know, where mom used to pinch us.
Yes.
And I'd be like, fucking son of a bitch. I was so pissed. And I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, please don't come out here, Daryl, because I will punch you. Because whenever I get hurt, I want to punch something. And so luckily he didn't. And I grabbed all of the items. And Malia was the first one she's like, hello. I'm like, hello. I was like, don't talk to me. I'm in pain. And now I have this hideous bruise on the back of my arm like an idiot. So annoying.
I hate it when I bang my head. I get so angry. I don't know why. There's something about banging my head, especially if it's on like the corner of a cabinet or something like that. I'm like, motherfucker! I just get so pissed.
Yeah.
There's just something about that. Okay, so I kind of have like, it's an ugly moment. I don't know what happens with you guys, but do you guys ever hear like a noise in the house and like someone needs to go check it out? It's just like, it sounds like there's something like a ruckus or something like that.
Yeah,
do you guys ever do that? So do you both go and check out the noise, or does Daryl
won't
go
let me? It depends on the time, but normally he won't let me.
Okay, so well, Victor doesn't like me to do it either, but so he has his own way of doing it. He usually goes and gets some kind of weapon, and I'll go in the kitchen, I'll grab whatever knife I can find, and this is how I do it, and he can't stand the way I do it. I blow through the house. I fling open every freaking door, every closet door, and I just like blast everything wide open with no caution.
I do too.
And I basically, because I'm like, come on, motherfucker. I don't say that, but in my mind, that's what I'm thinking.
Right.
So
You're ready to fight.
every shower is open, every closet door is open, you know, every cloth is pushed aside. And so by the time he's like, you know, doing special ops, sneaking around the house, everything's blown open. I'm out the front door in my t-shirt and underwear, walking out, you know, into the driveway, like, where are you? And I'm in the backyard, flipping all the lights on. I'm like, come on, guys, you know, getting the dogs. And you know, he's just like, I really wish you wouldn't do that. I'm like, why? I'm like, what's gonna happen? You know, some chick in her t-shirt and underwear coming out with a giant butcher knife. I'm like, that scared the fuck out of anybody.
Yeah.
But, meanwhile, he's sitting there, scaling the wall, sideways and trying to do a sneak attack. And I'm just like, that's not going to work. I've already blown through everything here. There's nothing. He's like, did you check the closet? I'm like, I've checked everything. So
We're good.
But he can't stand it when I do that.
So, well, that's pretty much the show. But there was only one other thing I wanted to mention before we say goodbye. And that is that Brian Dennehy died.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes, it's sad. Why is that such a big deal? I see everyone posting about it, and I'm just like,
it wasn't like when James Gandolfini died, where I was like incredibly saddened by it, but he was just good. Anyway, so not to be on a sad note, I wish I could think of something good to say before ending with death. But
safe home, and I'm glad the corona didn't get you. You know what I was telling Brian the other day?
What?
I said, who would have thought 2020 would have consisted of COVID-19 and the freaking exotic Tiger King?
Did you watch that entire show?
Oh, yeah.
I hated it.
Why?
Well, okay, so I listened a year ago. Wondery podcast company came out with a 6-part series of Joe Exotic.
Oh, so you knew about this?
Oh yeah, and it was well done, and I couldn't get enough of the podcast. It was so good. And then I saw this Tiger King. I didn't realize it was the same thing until it said Joe Exotic. I went, oh shit, this is the podcast. And the problem that I have with it is I can't watch the abuse of the animals.
Oh, you feel like it's abuse?
Oh yeah. I struggled with it. Seeing these 6-week-old babies surrounded by dirty people trying to pet them. I couldn't do it. It was way too much. And then having them in those cages eating rotten deer and oh my God, I couldn't do it. I was like, one episode was enough for me. I just couldn't. And so I asked Daryl, I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, Jamie, I can't watch this. He's like, and for him, it was the humans. He couldn't watch the humans.
See, I thought the people were funny.
I don't know why people are celebrating him. He's such a bad dude. I mean, I don't get it. Like, they want Trump to give him a pardon, and there's a petition to get him out. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Oh,
he's a criminal.
I think there are some people like that. I think the majority of the people not celebrate him, but they promote him because he's just such a character. You know what I mean? He's like so unique. And so
he's really weird
that it's just funny or fun to like integrate him into society. Because
hate it.
He's so unusual. But yeah, I don't think the majority of people think that he should be out,
Anyway, all right. Well, that's it for me.
So I will come back then next episode with my own what if or what would you do or something like that or whatever it's called.
Yeah. So when the show posts, I'm going to post the houses. And so people can see what I set up for you. And then when you do yours, we'll post mine and see how I do. All right.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I hope your quarantining is going quickly. Please visit Amazon.com. I have been going there every day just to find things to buy because I'm bored.
Yeah.
And lipandclip.com. I've been going there a lot, too, because actually I'm just running out of makeup, I realized. So I have to backfill some things and probably darken my colors a bit because the sun is coming out. The sun will come out tomorrow. And then they have some good outlet stuff that they're getting rid of. And then I think that's it. So enjoy the rest of your quarantine time at home. And we will see you on Wednesday. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.